Whatever you want to play, guys, go ahead.
We can make yours here.
I didn't really begin to touch on it because when you're mixing a guitar, you know, it's a feel thing. I don't think there's any meter that. And by the way, Waves Vocal Writer doesn't do this. I know they say it does, but it doesn't at all. It's bullshit. You can quote me. Please do. Is that you've really got to have a feel. It's a feeling thing. Al says a thing that's made a lot of difference to a lot of us, which is absolutely true. But he says you turn knobs so it sounds right. You turn knobs so it sounds right. You're not ever satisfied. You're fighting. You're listening to, always listening for something. Listening for is the bass too loud? Is the bass too soft? Like I said, laying into the hi-hat or whatever. Always listening.
I'll tell you, just live in the room, it's there's a lot of my mix too. So, give me a little bit of time here. Sure. Just let's play along. I'll record it. And see what it sounds like. Okay. See how much you taste it. And drum sound good, bass sound good, piano sounds good. Let's just get the instrument. Okay.
I was just thinking of the first horseman, so maybe just you and me, just not close, I mean, first eight.
Crash,
Just a dual walk in your solo?
excuse me, I'm sorry. To tell everybody to show us. So, Cats, can we run something down?
So they are. Did you switch off?
equipment is, and people ask me what's my favorite microphone in the world, and if I had to do a session and all I could use was one type of mic on everything, what mic would it be? And it would be a 67. I think it's the most versatile mic in the world. It sounds good on trumpet, saxophone, drums, strings. I use them on strings all the time, orchestras, things. So,
The old one or the remakes?
well, I'm very happy with the new ones now. We A/B'd them quite a bit, and the old ones, it's hard to find two of them that sound exactly alike. The new ones do sound alike, and they really sound great. They're
Like
amazing.
30 years ago?
Yeah, but they move for spend time doing stuff.
If I hear something, an engineer, I hear a record, there's something I like on it, I'll find out who the engineer is and call them up and say, hey, I love the sound you got on it. How did you do that? So, and usually they'll tell you. Most good engineers don't have secrets. They're willing to let people know what they've done. So yeah, I ask other guys every so often when I hear something, or I'll say, Steve, man, I heard this thing on the radio, man, it sounded great. And then Steve will figure out who did it, and find out, and get the answers and figure out how to
Everybody
do
needs a
it.
Steve.
Yeah, well, I'm still on staff at Capitol. So if somebody's coming in, for instance, a couple weeks ago, Dennis Sands, who's a big film mixer, was coming in to do a project, and I went to Paula and said, I want to be the assistant on that project, because I wanted to see him work and hang out. So I'll still, at times, assist for
3 and
other
4. You've got the shell resonance, which is your basic resonance, 110, 120, 150, whatever, depending. And if you take that stuff out, you have just taken the life out of the snare drum. That, especially rock and roll snare, depends on that kind of rage and joy that's happening with this set of resonances. So you got to be careful. And the best thing to do, in my way of thinking of it, is identify the resonance so that when you're putting your track together, you want to hear a mix and something distracts you. I'm going to keep saying inharmonic feature distraction. You know where it's coming from, you turn it off. Or turn it down. Or just mix it. There's a mixing thing.
And there I learned that the greatest musicians, they have the greatest sound. If you want to record a great sound, and there isn't anything that you could do except if maybe you know the young student, you could tell him to practice. You could tell him that sound is important. I did it.
That's called a unity ratio. And with modern sample rate converters, and we have a manufacturer in the room that makes very fine resampler. Modern sample rate converters or resamplers, it's not as much an issue. We used to do 48 to 44.1, then do 44.1 to, I'm sorry, 96 to 88.2 and then down. That's not necessary anymore. The modern sample rate converter, modern resampler does that. It's not as important. And again, you want to know that 16-bit 44.1 has its foot out the door. It's going away. The CD is going away. So why stake your future asset on the format that's going away?
I like to say anything when you're dealing in this digital world, any ideas you have, any thoughts you have, any opinions you have to reevaluate them once a year probably, because it changes so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff we said like that years ago just doesn't, there's all kinds of stuff like that just doesn't apply anymore because the equipment's getting better and all that kind of stuff.
Alles klar.
Jetzt die Barcodes, die Nummern.